Welcome back to my daily mom vlog. Clearly, I just woke up. Hashtag, I woke up like this. Hashtag, kitty cuddles. Anyway, thanks for joining me today. I hope you enjoy today's content. So I was not kind to myself last night. And at least my husband did these dishes. But for some reason, he didn't use the... he didn't wash the French press that I normally make coffee for just myself. Which means that I gotta wash it this morning. So, just a reminder that sometimes doing chores when you don't want to the night before is actually a version of self-care. Because otherwise, when you're tired and coffeeless the next morning, you're gonna have to wash a dish when you don't want to. She's very hungry. Good morning. Here I am attempting to wash my coffee pot. Normally I don't do this one-handed, so I think that's enough of that. I'm just gonna finish washing this, okay? Thanks, bye. So I don't know what it was about this morning, but earlier this week, I've been pretty good about not hitting the snooze button and just getting up right away. I intended to get up at 5 today. It is now almost 6. Excuse the cats eating in the background. But I ended up hitting the snooze button like 3-4 times this morning. I don't know. I did stay up a little later yesterday, so maybe that's it. Who knows? Anyway, I've prepped my coffee. Now I'm going to go downstairs, walk for 20 minutes. I really don't want to, but I know it's good for me, so I'm going to do it anyway. Okay. I then went downstairs and got on the treadmill, walked for 20 minutes. Here I am trying to fumble with the settings while I film. As I was coming back up the steps from the basement, I was greeted by this lovely creature. She's a sweetheart. She just follows me everywhere. And then I started to prep breakfast and took a moment to talk to you guys. I thought it'd been a couple days since I sat down and really talked to you about how I'm feeling. I'm not gonna lie, I feel silly doing the self-care vlogs and sitting in front of the camera and talking to you, and there's definitely a voice in my head that's like, nobody's gonna want to watch it. You look bad. This is not good content. You should just give up. But the other side of it is that I'm enjoying it. Like, it's fun to film things and it's fun to do, I don't know, create something just for the sake of creating something. And I do think it's keeping me accountable. It's like, oh, well, if I want to do the vlog today, then I really should get on the treadmill because I'm going to have to tell you guys about it. And I want to be consistent for you guys and for myself. So, yeah, I think the vlog is important, even though it's definitely pushing myself out of my comfort zone. And I do think it's helping me to think about my needs and my priorities, because as a mom, as an employee, as a student, I am always thinking about everyone else. And that's how I ended up where I am, how I ended up with postpartum depression, how I ended up, being so out of shape and just run down, is because my basic needs got put to the bottom of the list and therefore sometimes just never got checked off. So yeah, I think the vlog is important, even though it's making me uncomfortable. And I did want to share with you, so yesterday I allowed myself a soda. And one thing I observed is that after the soda, I feel like I was a little indulgent with the soda, right? And so then afterwards I was like, I want chocolate. Like, I stayed up later than I normally do, and like I scrolled more on my phone. So I'm not saying it's the soda's fault or anything to do with food, but I think I like ended up putting myself in the mindset of like old habits, and it's okay to splurge a little, and like today's a rough day, so I'm going to self-medicate kind of mindset. And then it snowballed a little bit. I was still good about eating the leftovers that we had, which was the sweet and sour cauliflower. So we still had a very healthy dinner, and I did avoid eating chocolate, even though I really, really, really wanted to. But it made me grumpier that I couldn't like eat a burger and there's nothing wrong with eating a burger. It's just that we had leftovers, and I'm trying to also be better, not only about just eating healthier, but eating the food that we have, because I think one area of self-care is finances. And I have to be honest, like when my husband and I are in the thick of it, like very busy with work, very busy with kids, the finances sometimes just get ignored. And then when we go into our account at the end of the week, we're like, what happened? Or, I go to the grocery store and I lose track of how much money I'm spending while I'm putting the items in the cart. And I'm like, oh, well, I'm pretty sure it's still within the ballpark. And then I get to the checkout and I'm like, oh, right, inflation. It's definitely not in the ballpark. Like, oh well, too late now. And so part of what adds to that is not eating the food that we have, is reaching for the frozen food, reaching for what feels good and what's easy in the moment rather than what's best for our family. So, and there are nights where I do think frozen food is like what's best for our family. Like if I've had a really stressful day, or, the kids have been a lot that day. Sometimes I think it's okay as a mom for you to be like, I'm just doing frozen chicken nuggets and broccoli. Like I pop the frozen broccoli bag in the microwave for 5 minutes. They have some vegetables and they like broccoli. I don't know why. My sons love broccoli. So great. So I put that in there, and then I buy the chicken nuggets that are like half veggie. They're dinosaur shaped. And they're like half chicken, half veggie somehow. I think it's cauliflower that's in there. But that makes me feel a little bit better. It's frozen chicken nuggets, but it's still kind of healthy. And then pop that in the toaster oven, and there you go. That's dinner. Like, sometimes as a mom, for your mental health, you do need to choose the easy thing. And on those days, it's not like, oh, I'm a terrible mom for not making a home cooked meal. No, you are a busy mom. You deserve to eat a meal. You deserve to take those 10 to 30 minutes that you'd spend prepping a meal. 10 minutes. Let's be honest. If you're going to make a homemade meal, it's not going to be 10 minutes. At least not for me. You deserve to take that time that you would prepping a meal and to sit with your kids on the floor and just play with them and enjoy them. Or if that's too much, it's okay to just sit on the couch with like, some water or a cup of coffee and let them play and just sit. Sometimes we just need to sit, and being present with your kids doesn't always mean like getting on the floor with them and being happy and bubbly and playing. Like being present with your kids just means being with them. And that's something I have to remember too. So yeah, sorry. I meant to just get on here for like 2 minutes, but apparently I had a lot more to say. So I think I'm still on track. I do think that all these little changes that I'm making and moments where I stop and say, hey, okay, I've taken care of the kids. What do I actually need? Or, hey, I know I'm tired, but maybe I should do 1 or 2 things to make tomorrow easier for myself. But just finding ways to be kind to myself. I do think it's making an impact. And I think that by incorporating some of these things into my routine, it'll have a positive effect not only on me, but on my family. So yeah, it's been hard, but I'm going to keep at it.
What are you doing? not supposed to be up there. Missy. Missy. All right. Come on, get on down now. Let's go. Thank you.
Before waking up the kids, I got dressed. Just leggings, t-shirt, sweater, and I prepped the diaper bags because this morning we were going to go to the vet around breakfast time. So we're going to have breakfast on the go.
I'm wearing an actual outfit today. It still has leggings, but I'm wearing a sweater. We're going to run some errands. The cat hasn't been eating well. He's Siamese, so he's got teeth problems. I didn't know that about Siamese cats, but apparently that's a thing, or at least he's half Siamese, so he has that issue. So we have to take him to the vet today. I'm so sorry, buddy. I'm so sorry. Oh.
It's actually really nice. Our vet does curbside assistance, so when I have both kiddos, I can just keep them occupied in the car. So we did breakfast while we waited for the cat at the vet.
Yeah, we're gonna come back. We gotta get the kitty when they're done with him, so we'll come back. Don't worry. So I'm not gonna lie, today's been a little difficult. I wasn't expecting to have to take the cat to the vet at 10 in the morning, but that was the appointment they had, and he's not eating, so that was important. And then, but it meant I had to take the kids with me. And then not only that, but it took a lot longer than I thought. Like, I thought I'd be away from work for an hour, and I was away for like 2.5, which is a big deal when you're a mom and you're trying to work at the same time. So anyway, that's done at least. He's doing okay. Blood work came back fine. We have to go back tomorrow to see how he's doing. They just gave him some medication, so hopefully that'll clear things up. But anyway, it just derailed my day a little bit, and I do have another appointment later today. So I put the kids down to bed a little earlier than normal. We still did lunch first. Normally I put them down for a nap around 2, and I'm doing it at 1 today so that I can get some work done before we have to do our other appointment. Nap time will still be just as long. The other thing I wanted to talk about really quick, though, is something that I've been trying to do more of lately is being grateful for time with my kids and just trying to change my mindset around things like nap time and cleaning up and bedtime. Just those moments during the day where I have to be focused 100% on them, right? There are times where I work and they play, or they eat and I work, and but there are times where I have to be 100% focused on them, and that's right before nap time. That's when I'm doing diaper changes. There are just certain times a day where I can't multitask with the kids. And I used to have a habit of, in those moments, being like, I have to get this done. I have so much to do for work. I have so much to do for school. We have to go as quickly as possible. And I'm just constantly thinking about what I need to do and how this is taking away from work, or this is taking away from school. That in the moment with the kids, I'm more stressed and more, less patient with them. And then when I get back to work, I'm still stressed, and I always feel behind. And I think that as a working mom, I think that's just part of the package. You're always going to feel like you're behind. You just need to remember to do your best and do what you can. And hopefully you have an understanding employer. If you don't, find someone who will be understanding, and who will value the quality of the work that you output, because you do output quality work. It might not be the same as what it was before kids, but they wouldn't have hired you if you weren't doing a good job. So those are the things I try to remind myself of on a regular basis, because I'm quite a perfectionist, and when I can't get things the way I want them to, it's frustrating. But in those moments with the kids, it's not helping me to be stressed out. It's not helping my job to be stressed out. And it's especially not helping my kids. And I don't want to get to a point when they're grown up, they're past the baby stage, past the toddler stage, they're in school. And I think to myself, man, I was so lucky to be home with them at that time. I wish I had cherished it more. I don't want to think that way. I want to cherish it now while I'm in the moment. And I'm not going to lie, like, it's hard. It's really hard sometimes, but I'm trying. And that's what I've been trying to do lately. So like when I'll put my toddler down for his nap, and then I go in the other room with the baby and I sit in the chair because he's still kind of young. So I sit in the chair till he falls asleep. He's a good sleeper, so it doesn't take that long. And in those moments, I can either sit there and think like, what time is it? I really need to get to work. I need to do this. I need to do that. Or I can just snuggle him. I can just sit there and enjoy it. And I have to be honest with you, you think that if you sit there and just indulge a little bit in the baby snuggles, that all this time is going to pass and you're going to be so much further behind. Usually once I get him back in his crib and I walk out of that nursery, about the same amount of time has passed. So it's not helping anyone to be stressed, but it is helping me and the kids to just be grateful and to enjoy them. So anyway, I just thought I'd share those thoughts because I was thinking about that today. I'm going to get some real work done. I don't know if I'll be able to vlog the rest of the day. It's going to be busy. And then I'll probably have to stay up late tonight working just because we had all these appointments today and I need to get 8 hours in. So wish me luck. Last of the tuna salad. And then I'm having some salt and vinegar almonds. I really like those as an alternative to chips.
So I made it home before my husband and my kids. I had a doctor's appointment today, and so I dropped my kids off at my mother-in-law's before going to the appointment, and then my husband's going to pick them up on his way home from work. So I beat them here. And it's been a hard day. I thought I would just do a little recap of the day, and I was having some thoughts about self-care. And I thought I would share with you. So it was frustrating because the cat's appointment today took like 3 hours, and I thought it would only take one. I think I talked about that already, but that has a huge impact, especially when I already had a doctor's appointment for myself planned today. And I really didn't want to cancel that because I needed to go for myself. So, it just makes it hard because it means I'm going to have to stay up late working tonight. So it's just going to be a tough night. Luckily, we still have some leftover ramen, so I think I'm going to do that for dinner. I was going to cook something, but with how busy today is and how much work I still have to do, we're going to do leftover ramen. But throughout the day, I found myself wanting to eat sugar, wanting to go on Amazon, wanting to get McDonald's, when we had to wait for the cat's blood work. And I was thinking about it, and it's my go-to is to self-medicate, right? And I know it's not, at face value, those aren't necessarily harmful things, but they can be truly harmful. So one of the practices that my husband and I are trying to be better about is checking in with our finances and sticking to our budgets and ensuring that we're on the right track there, because when we get in the thick of it and when we're dealing with different aspects of life, our tendencies in the past have been to ignore it, and just buy what we want to buy or buy what we need to buy for the kids and not really think about it. And I'm trying to change that about myself. I'm trying to make those moments of self-care less about self-medicating and more about actually caring for myself. Don't get me wrong, there are times when it's good to zone out in front of a TV. It's good to have a pizza. It's good to, indulge in something, and there's active rest and there's passive rest, and there are times for both. But it shouldn't be all passive or all active. It needs to be balanced, and I haven't been balanced in that way. And I'm trying to change my mindset to when I check in with the budgets, when I, log into our accounts, when I look at those Excel spreadsheets or get into our Mint account, checking in and ensuring that we're staying on track. While it might feel like a chore, it is actually a form of self-care, because we're taking care of our family, we're taking care of our finances and ourself, and ultimately that has a positive impact on our mental health, and in our family's success. Excuse me, the garage light just went off. Here, I'll turn this one. Well, I clearly don't know how this works. There we go. That's not really better. I'm almost done. It's fine. So I guess what I'm saying, I use the finances as an example, but ultimately the goal of this series, the goal of what I'm trying to do here, is to change my mindset from zoning out from in those moments, like, when you're not with the kids and you have a moment of free time, and instead of just numbing yourself in whatever form you do that in, whether it's food or online shopping or what, instead of doing that, picking things that are going to have a positive impact and remembering that actually taking care of myself is going to be better for me and for my family than zoning out will. Yeah. Anyway, that was my day. Those are my random thoughts after a stressful day. If they were garbled, I'm sorry, but I hope you found a nugget of something in there that you can use for yourself. Just know that I'm here. I'm with you. Life is a lot sometimes, and we'll get through it. All you can do is your best. Just do your best. And even sometimes when you can't do your best, you're there. Just be there. Be present. And that's okay too. Okay.